What if I told you that a licensed doctor once ran a health spa where people literally paid to starve to death? And worse, she convinced them that it was good for them and stole all their assets while they slipped away to nothing. This is the true story of Linda Burfield Hazzard, the fasting specialist who turned wellness into a weapon and her patients into skeletons. Hey friends, welcome back to the Encyclopedia Anne's channel, where I'm no expert, just endlessly curious about everything. Just a quick note that if you're liking what you're seeing, subscribing really does help me. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on what topics you'd like me to cover in the future. So let's get into it. It's the early 1900s. America is obsessed with health cures. You've got radium water, electric belts, miracle tonics, basically the 20th century version of an Instagram wellness page. And right in the middle of it all stands a woman named Linda Hazzard, who believed she discovered the cure for everything. Her method? Stop eating. That's it. No food, just fasting therapy. Cancer? Starve it. Depression? Just starve it. It was the detox cleanse before detox cleanses were cool. In 1908, Linda and her husband Samuel opened their sanitarium, another word for a health spa, and called it Wilderness Heights, in the forest of Olalla, Washington, just an hour from Seattle, but in a remote and lonely area. But locals didn't call it Wilderness Heights. They called it Starvation Heights, because that's exactly what it was. Patients arrived hopeful, carrying their savings and their illnesses. Linda would welcome them warmly and then put them on her fasting cure. Meals consisted of a few spoonfuls of tomato or asparagus broth, maybe twice a day. Patients were subjected to vigorous massages, which were basically Linda pounding on their bodies while shouting out that the treatment was working. And when they grew too weak to walk, she'd weigh them, smile, and say, "You're improving beautifully." It was basically a goop retreat run by a sadist. Most of Linda's patients didn't survive, but she was a master manipulator, convincing even intelligent, wealthy people that this suffering was good for them. Two of her most tragic victims were the Williamson sisters, British heiresses who had lots of money, free time, and curiosity for every health fad that came along. They came to Linda seeking a cure for fatigue, but within weeks, one of them was dead. The other one was imprisoned in Linda's attic, delirious and skeletal, barely clinging to life. Linda had already taken control of their finances, sold their jewelry, and transferred their assets to herself. When rescuers finally found the surviving sister, she weighed less than 70 pounds. Linda's response? She's full of toxins. This is progress. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Linda wasn't even a real doctor. At the time, Washington State had a loophole allowing alternative medicine practitioners to call themselves doctors, and Linda squeezed right through that loophole. She even wrote a book called Fasting for the Cure of Disease. People actually bought it and followed her words religiously. She was basically the Gwyneth Paltrow of her day, except her jade eggs were human lives. After the Williamson case made headlines, Linda was finally charged with manslaughter in 1912. At her trial, she strutted into court wearing fine clothes, all bought with her victims' money, and insisted that she was innocent. Her argument? She hadn't killed anyone. Their own impurities had. Essentially, don't blame me, blame the toxins. The jury didn't buy it. She was convicted and sentenced to 2 years in prison. 2 years for multiple deaths. After serving her sentence, Linda was released and went right back to work. She reopened her sanitarium, new patients came, and more died. The place stayed open until it literally burned down years later. And in an ending so ironic, it could only happen in real life, Linda herself died while following her own fasting cure. Today, the sanitarium is gone. Only pieces of its foundation remain in the forest. What makes Starvation Heights such a disturbing story is it's not just about death. It's about the dangerous power of belief and what happens when wellness turns into worship. Some cures really are worse than the disease. If you want to hear all the details of this case, Greg Olson has written a gripping tale of it called Starvation Heights. I'm going to link it below in the video description. If you enjoy this video, make sure and give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's always a question to be answered, and I'm always here to ask it. See you next time.